So, this is the Haunted Host podcast, and on this podcast, we will be doing reviews and basically shitting on any and all horror movies we find. Today's podcast, we will be doing The Conjuring. So we have some notes we've taken on the movie recently, so we're up to date and have it fresh in our minds. Would we like to start?
Yeah, I want to ask you quick, did you watch this when you were home alone by any chance?
I did.
Okay,
Did
so did
you?
I, and then my dog Edgar basically shat during the movie. So like at like one of the most the climax of the movie, I just like smelled dog shit and I was like my house is fucking haunted.
You you really went, is that rotten flesh?
Because like Ed in the movie is like, that's a sign of a demon. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
You just smelled your dog shit and then let it sit there for a while. Did you just how long was it like there before you cleaned it up?
I would say like a solid 2 minutes.
I thought you were gonna say 2 hours, which is the duration of the movie. I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
he shat at the beginning, and I was like,
You were like, my house is haunted. I'm just gonna sit here.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but anyway, we can get into the movie now. I just wanted to ask you if you were home alone.
I was. It was I my notes that I took on the movie actually there's like a good 3 times where my notes are just fucked because I was like not as I was taking the notes I was looking down and then my microphone or not my microphone my headphones exploded with a jump scare and I was like
Oh my god. Oh, we didn't do the character introduction.
oh, you could go first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Joey King because everyone wants to punch me in the fucking face.
I want to punch her in the face.
Have you not seen the TikToks about how much people hate?
No, my sister wants to murder her.
Oh!
My sister wants to end her life for some reason. My sister said it was something about her face, like she just hates it.
I don't know
And
what
I
it
was like, what?
is.
I don't know what it is either, because there's like a part of me that when I see her, I'm like, fuck. I want to end your life. But like not saying that I actually would. I don't want anyone to like call the police on me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, hi, I'm Nancy, the obviously closeted lesbian.
It's so obvious.
It is. So I thought it was just me, so I didn't put it in the notes because I was like, I feel like I'm gonna sound dumb if I say it. But then you said it, and I was like,
No, she literally looks like a lesbian from the 70s.
oh, she is. The glasses do it.
Also, can we talk about how much, like, so, like, basically, shit went down once the man left the house. Can we talk about how 70s that is?
Oh my god.
Like, these demons are sexist. It's a woman. And she was like, yeah, get that man out of here.
No, literally. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Like the second the man left, they were like, vulnerability. These women.
Literally.
Okay, let's start. So in the beginning, we have these like really bad actors.
Yeah, probably, I would say that they're, like, a solid 4 out of 10 on acting.
Yeah, I was like they really just like went out into the street and they pulled up like these three people, these two girls and then this random guy who's sitting right next to them. He has like no relevance to this story, by the way.
I don't even think he spoke once.
He didn't. He just sat there and like made a distraught face the entire time.
Also, can we talk about how this movie starts with the doll that literally isn't even in, like, it's not even the movie. The movie's literally supposed to be about the Conjuring, but it's just about this fucking doll at the beginning.
Oh, it does. Like there is in the beginning. It's just a close up of Annabelle's eye, so it like plays it off like there's some relevance of Annabelle in the movie, and there is no relevance.
Literally, the only relevance is like an hour in when Annabelle's like in the rocking chair, but even then, she's not like the culprit.
She's not the culprit.
She like doesn't do shit in this. I mean, this whole movie is basically just a promotion for the Annabelle series.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. It's
They
because
knew.
it starts off and they're like, "Come see the Annabelle movie that we're gonna come up with in
They're
like
like
a year."
selling tickets in the movie. They're like, you can get your ticket for $5. For
They should have.
$5.
Oh, they should have.
They really should
That's
have. I would have bought it.
that. I mean, that was a free ad. I'm not gonna lie. That was such good advertising. But, um, they have these two nurse girls
Yeah.
freaking out because they let this Annabelle Higgins, who died in their apartment, permission to possess the doll.
They literally gave like a demon permission to get inside this doll because they were like, it's a little girl, and the little girl was like, I'm lonely.
What? Like, imagine being just this nurse, and there's this little girl who's dying, and she goes, I want to possess this fucking doll. Can I have permission? I would say, what are you talking? I would think this kid has mental problems.
An exact
I wouldn't say yes. I would be like, do you need to go to the mental hospital, Annabelle?
an exact quote from Ed in this movie, Ed Warren, one of our main characters,
Mm-hmm.
is, wait, you did what? And I wrote that down because I was like, you know what? Me too, Ed. Me too.
Period. Because literally, I feel like every person in horror movies like has the IQ of like a 2-year-old child, like with extreme like lack of awareness. Because I was right when this part happened. Ed's face was like, you did not.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
just like a heads up if people haven't seen this movie, we start with Ed and Lorraine Warren, which basically Ed is like this guy who basically does nothing. He's just like religious, and that's like enough. And then Lorraine can like see dead people. Like it's the sixth sense on crack.
Yeah, she's there's like a word for whatever she is. The screen like explains briefly who Ed and Lorraine Warren is. Um
Yeah.
and I looked into them, by the way. So after this whole scene where there's like these nurses being like, "Yeah, we gave the doll permission to like, or Annabelle permission to possess the doll," which weird. Um the screen turns into this note which explains who Ed and Lorraine is. I did some research because I wanted to see the legitimacy of Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Of course.
Um, not legit, bro.
Well, yeah, the museum that they have. Well, first of all, when there was like that whole rumor going around that Annabelle escaped, I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" But then like it wasn't true.
Yeah, it was fake. Like it was just a hoax.
Like they got
I
my
was like,
hopes
how
up.
serious are they? It got my hopes up too. Like
But
I want them to be real.
yeah, no, are they both dead now?
Ed and Lorraine are both dead, but their daughter is still alive and like holding up their legacy, I guess.
Oh,
Um,
Judy.
oh, 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 Judy, just keeping up with talking to demons and shit.
I mean, living the life, really.
Um, but after this like little note, uh, there's this family with 30 children who
Yeah,
move into this place in Harrisville, Rhode Island. Um,
yeah.
this really creepy house.
I honestly, I thought it was kind of a pretty house.
It's really pretty. It's just so like I feel like there's like this aura to certain houses, and the second like this movie starts with the weird horror movie filter over it, I was like, "ee."
It
Well, okay, there's the first red flag of the dog not wanting to go into the house.
literally when Sadie was like, "I'm not going in there," I was like, "Listen to your dog. Like, how stupid do you have to be?"
Well, I feel like if I was moving into a house that was super duper old, which is like, on its own, it's a little creep. It's creepier when you move into a really old house because you're like, ooh, this house has like a story that I don't know. Um, but then it's like if your dog doesn't want to go in the house, you should be like, I don't know,
In my
some kind of weird.
in my notes at the beginning when like the family was first introduced, I just have in all caps, "Is that fucking Joey Kane?" No.
Oh, get her out of this movie.
Literally, okay, and then like the oldest daughter that's like, "Yeah, I didn't have any choice in coming here." I was like, "Yeah, none of us had a freaking choice here, but like just suck it up."
I love in every horror movie or in any movie in general where there's like this older teen daughter who's just a bitch.
Literally, why is she such like I don't
Like your
understand it.
parents couldn't help it, bro. They just wanted to move. You know what I'm
Plus,
saying?
like if the house wasn't haunted, it'd be like a really cool house. Like they live on a lake. Like it has a cool willow tree in the back.
Oh,
Sure.
okay, hold up. About that willow tree though. You said it was a cool willow tree.
Sure,
The
someone
next
died
scene,
on it, but
someone may have killed themselves on it, but it's a creepy ass willow tree. And
I like it.
the next scene in the movie, like it goes from like the dog being creeped out, not wanting to go into the house, to the next red flag, which is April is messing around near the tree and finds the creepiest music box.
I want to uppercut April's face throughout this whole movie.
April is a child.
I
April is a kid.
I am not kidding you. When I watched this the other day, I was screaming so much because this bitch, when I was a kid, if I was like talking to some demon in a mirror behind me, no.
Bro, same. I literally was like, this kid, I don't care how old you are. Like, this movie played it off like, oh, kids are just curious and aren't scared of anything. If I were a child and I found a music box under that creepy ass looking tree, I would have shat my pants. I still have problems controlling my bowels. I would have shat my pants and then asked my mom to leave.
I would have told Rory to go fuck himself and find a new friend. Like, leave me alone.
Rory just goes, damn, mommy.
Rory's like,
what's your
I'm kind
at?
of into it, you know?
He's like, do you peg?
He literally can't make up his mind in this movie who he's friends with, though. Because, like, he saves the other girl, not April. Like, he's friends with April, but he shows the other girl his hiding spot.
Oh, we gotta explain who Rory is.
Oh, right. Dead bitch.
So Rory is this kid who appears in the music box, which has a mirror in it. When you play the music from the music box, this ghost ass, dead ass kid appears in the mirror, and his name's Rory, who's supposed to be April, who's the youngest daughter's imaginary friend, but he isn't imaginary.
He's not imaginary. It's like, it's X Games mode of imaginary friends.
Low-key ship Rory and April, though.
Low-key not gonna do that because they're minors.
They're children.
Am I gonna punch them? Yeah, but I'm not gonna ship them.
Am I gonna commit a different illegal act? Yes.
Am I gonna commit arson on both of them? Yes.
Tara. Okay, so this next scene is the kids playing the hide and go seek game.
Yeah, and then Dad's being like a mood killer with the pizza box, like, damn you kids, walking around.
Yeah, he's like, don't play the game. You don't know this house well enough.
Which,
and the
true.
Kids are like, fuck you. Fuck you, Dad. And they keep playing.
Yeah, and then...
And...
I like how... Was it Nancy that hid in the closet? Obviously. But, like...
Bro!
I know. I know.
You are so observative? Is that a word?
Yes.
What's the word? Is it observative a word?
Observant.
Observant. That was observant.
Observative.
I wasn't until like halfway through the movie when I thought that hold up, why am I forgetting everything? Nancy. When I thought Nancy was gay. So good job.
Okay,
look at you.
But then like when she's in the closet, freaking Joey King comes into the room. I don't know her character's name. I don't care enough to know. I just know it's Joey King.
It's Christine.
Okay, well, she broke the fucking wall, so does it really matter?
She did, because Nancy's hiding from Joey King, who is the seeker, and Nancy claps, and Joey kind of stands there for a second, and then decides to, for some reason, just fucking yeet Nancy into the wall.
And then she said that it was Nancy's fault. She straight up, like, pummeled this girl, like, football level. Like, that is a tackle.
Which, okay, I get being blindfolded and stuff, like, for what, I don't get that. That's creepy as shit. But, like, I get, if you're blindfolded, you can't see anything, but they're clapping. So she could clearly hear that Nancy was 2 feet in front of her, clapping. And she was like, beat you up.
Speaking of blindfolds, in my notes, I talked about how my theory is that this cellar is not only, like, I'm gonna kill you, but it's, like, a sex dungeon.
Oh. You think wait, hold up. You think the basement was a sex dungeon?
I think it's a strong possibility. I think I have a note on it later about why I think my theory is proven, but I don't remember where that is, so I guess we'll know when we get to it.
Okay, so we'll key that in our minds right now, that it's possibly this cellar/basement that is discovered when Nancy gets shoved into the wall. It's a possibility it could be a sex dungeon.
I like it how when they like walk down there instead of being like, this is fucking terrifying. Roger's like, ooh, more square footage. Like,
No, that is what he says. And I was like, what the hell? But then when they go back upstairs, uh, Roger and his boo thing, she goes, I wonder why it was boarded up. Like,
because
okay.
like people died down there.
Like, okay, there's already so many red flags. And I don't understand how this family's just like, why did they board up the basement?
Okay, so many red flags. And then like later that night, the mom is like, you too tired to christen the house? And I'm like, it is not the time. Like, Sadie is outside barking up a storm, screaming bloody murder like you bitches are about to die.
Which by the way, the mom, everyone's like, oh, Sadie never freaks out like this. Like, there's why? What is that not weird? Yeah. Are you guys not weirded out?
Hide and clap. This movie is about more like the mom gets clapped in every scene. Like, I'm over it. I am over it.
The mom is like really bad in this movie. Like, she is not a strong woman.
She wakes up with bruises and she's like, kinky.
She also she wakes up with the bruise, and it's a bad bruise, by the way, not like a low key, like, because sometimes you could like just have bruises and you're like, where did that come from? She wakes up with like a black bruise.
Yeah.
And the clock is stopped at 3:07 a.m.
Which, why? Okay, I don't like odd numbers. So why the hell?
Why don't you like odd numbers?
I don't know. I like even numbers. I like the number 5. I don't really like the number 6. I don't know. Just a weird preference. But why 307? Like, that number just pisses me off.
Side note, actually. So you said why the number 7. I looked it up.
Okay.
Side note of the time significance. Apparently the time before 3 to 4 a.m. is known as the devil's hour. So, it's like supposed to be an inversion of the time that Jesus died, which they tried to make 307 because the number 7 is also an evil number in the Bible, and the number 3 is as well. They tried to like put those numbers together to create like an evil time in the movie, I guess.
Right.
So 307 is supposed to be like ultra satanic.
Why not? I guess there isn't a 666 time. My voice just gave
Were you about to say
time?
You were about to go, huh? You were like, why isn't there a 666?
Sometimes I, like, when I'm counting, not time-wise, I forget that there are numbers past 60, but then when I'm thinking of time, it confuses me that it only goes to 60.
6. They could have done a 6.
Ow, sorry.
No, they couldn't. They could do only like a 6 o'clock. I don't know. But 307 does make me uncomfortable. It made you feel weird. It's just a weird number.
Yeah. But anyway, so like time's gone. The whole house is basically just like Frozen. The set of Frozen 2. It's just fucking cold. And then April goes outside, and I'm not saying this is like part of the plot, but kills the fucking dog.
Sarah, no. Sadie is fucking dead, bro.
Sadie, no matter who killed her, which I think it was April because that bitch, I don't know, I don't trust her.
Which also, fuck this family. Who makes their dog sleep outside?
True. They were like, oh, she's not gonna come inside. I guess she can just sleep out there.
Like, no. Make the dog sleep inside.
More like sleep forever. Like, she really made it sleep, but forever.
They really went, you're kind of annoying. Hope you get eaten by a fox or some shit.
And then...
Like, what?
And then not, like... They don't even, like, focus on the dog death. We're just, like, back to Mr. Sideburns and his wife, I see dead people in 2 seconds. Like, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they show the dead dog, and they're like, anyway, moving on.
No, literally, he, like, checks the dog's pulse, and then it's like, guess we're gonna go to a scene at the Warrens.
I hate it. And then we're back to the fucking doll. It's a promotion for Annabelle.
Oh, yeah. This is the scene where Ed is showing that. Is this the scene where the Ed is showing that guy around?
Yes.
His little thing,
like his little, I don't know, kink room
dungeon.
I don't know. Do they like get off to her or something?
Low key though, I don't know why you would want to keep that in your house other than for like
they have a child who's obviously interested in this stuff, and they're like, better keep it right in front of her.
Let's keep it right by her room, 10 feet away from her room.
I don't understand it. Like they literally her room's upstairs. The stairs are right by this room.
I know.
Like I
And then
think
and
her
then
is her bedroom like above it.
it literally is right above that room.
That she can't like do shit in her room. Like
Here's the thing. If you truly, here's my problem with Ed and Lorraine Warren. If I were someone who truly, truly, truly in my heart of hearts thought that I had a room that contained some of the world's most evil, dangerous, risky shit, like demon possessed shit, I
literally
would not have my daughter near it.
a doll that would like fucking rip your head off, and they're like, let me put my daughter in the room right above this doll.
Yeah, and then Judy walks into the room while Ed is giving this guy a tour, and instead of being like, "Whoa, get out of the room, there's some evil stuff," he's like, "Oh, Judy,
He's like,
what you
you're not
doing?"
we're not playing hide and seek right now. Get out.
He's like, "You silly banana,
He literally like
get out of here."
I swear, like somebody needs to hit this bitch over the head with like a sandal and be like, no, don't go in there.
No, if my kid walked in there, I would go sicko mode. I'd be like, "Get your..." Yes, that was my hands
But
slapping the booty cheeks of my
can
child.
you imagine, like, if she had a guy over or a girl, whatever, in her room?
We don't discriminate.
We don't discriminate. But can you imagine if she had like someone over in her room, like above Annabelle, and Annabelle's just like, who the fuck is this?
Annabelle's like, "You want a third?"
Annabelle's like, hey, not trying to like intrude or anything, but like, some people are into dolls.
Annabelle's like, "I like the number 3. It's evil."
I I have Satan's number on speed dial. If you guys,
I love that we're making this child's future sexual.
well, I mean, what else are we supposed to do at this point? Like, it's a movie about like, I don't know. Nobody even fucking dies. Like, I just want one person to die. You know.
Oh, that's true. Spoiler alert: nobody dies in this movie.
I
But anyways, back to whatever we were at.
yeah. The next thing I have is that Judy's like in a little bride's dress, and I just said that the 70s was like a weird time. Like,
Takes
why is she
judged her outfit.
she's dressed up. It's like first communion where you just show up dressed like a little bride. Like, it's kind of weird, but like go off.
Was that her pajamas? Was that her pajamas?
I don't think so. I think that was like her day wear to go feed the chickens, you know.
Whoa.
Living the
I
life.
kind of liked some of the outfits in this movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I kind of like some of the outfits. I just thought it was a little weird that she was like, I don't know, she's like 7 and she looks like a little, she's about to get married off.
Is Judy the second youngest?
Judy is Ed and Lorraine's kid.
Oh man, wrong kid.
Whoa.
Wrong kid. Yes. I remember when uh Lorraine was like loving on her, and then yeah. She was dressed like a bride. Her outfit was a little weird in this movie, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and then they like talk about Lorraine's problems for
Oh yeah.
a bit, but not like the dead dog. No, we're just gonna like focus on Lorraine being sad.
Yeah, no, this whole scene, it pops from the dead dog to this kind of irrelevant scene.
I honestly think that they could go without the first 40 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, the first 40 minutes is basically the family and Ed and Lorraine introduction, but it shows the family being really dumb about like obvious things that are happening in their house.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if my clocks, like every single clock in my house stopped at 3:07, I wouldn't just like sleep it off.
Oh, I would feel very uncomfortable.
I
It
would straight up start packing again.
it happens again actually. So after the really irrelevant scene at the Warrens, it goes back to a scene at the, I don't know the last name of this family.
Um
The other family's house. And the clock again stops at 3:07. So whoop.
Oh, and then it has like the scene at night where
Oh yes.
Joey King, she's sleeping with her feet out from the blankets. So I'm sorry, she's simply asking for it. Like
She's simply asking to get murked.
I do not feel bad for her a second in this movie.
And it's not even one foot, I don't think. It's both feet are
It
out of
is
the blanket.
both feet. It is both feet, all arms, like hands and vehicle, or hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times, please. Like, stop.
And see, the problem with this though is that I live in a house that isn't that old, and like my house is pretty modern. I don't live on like haunted land or anything. Nothing scary happens, and I still sleep with my feet inside the blanket. The fact that she, after her dog died, the clocks are stopping at 3:07, like all this weird stuff. Her little sister found this weird music box thing. She still was like, I'm going to sleep without a blanket on my body, with my feet dangling off the edge of the bed.
And not only all that shit, she's literally getting dragged at night. Like,
Oh yeah, she gets yanked.
what?
She gets yanked and blames Nancy.
She, she's like, fuck you, Nancy. Like,
Nancy's literally 30 feet away from her. She gets yanked, and then she's like, Nancy, stop. And then Nancy on the other side of the room's like, what are you talking about?
Nancy is knocked the fuck out, and Joey Kane is like, Nancy, stop it, my feet. And I'm like, Joey, shut up and just put, like, if she put her feet under the covers, I feel like this wouldn't be an issue.
I can just imagine you watching that scene being like, Joey, get the fuck out of this movie.
Okay, also, I didn't write this down, but that could also be why it was a sex dungeon in the cellar, because foot fetish. Boom.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, this happens more than once, the whole foot thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
maybe it is.
I feel like,
and the bruises on the mom.
oh, that's like super kinky.
Kind of is, dude. I'm starting to believe the whole sex dungeon thing now.
Yeah.
Like I'm in on it a little bit.
Thank
I'm
you.
starting to get into it.
But the next
But
so after we like see Joey in her bed and everything, it like cuts to the TV running on static, and all I could think about is how high their power bill is going to be.
oh, yeah, why did
Like,
so the dad is sitting there, right? And he
he's
just
sleeping.
leaves the TV on. Oh.
But like, this is the thing. They talk about later in the movie how they put all of their money into this house. But a way you could save money is turning off your fucking TV. Like, it's pretty easy.
You went, "Here, let me help you out quick. Save your fucking money, you broke ass bitches."
I just don't understand why that I hate it.
No,
But,
yeah, the dad is pretty dumb in this scene too.
oh yeah, he straight up, like, he hears a door opening and he's like, I wonder who's outside at like this hour.
Let me go check on it real quick. Let me walk right towards it, no weapon.
All of the doors in this house are broken. And
Moving.
it pisses me off because, like, learn how to fix a hinge or something. Like, oil it, do something, because every single door in this house is like,
Literally, anytime anyone does anything in this house, there's a creepy noise, and then there's like an explanation for it. Because he walks towards the door, because there's this. He hears a noise. He walks towards the place that radiated the noise, sees a door open on its own, and then sees a window, and then goes, "I'm gonna blame it on the window."
He's like,
I would not do the same thing. Like, I don't know why my brain doesn't work like that. If a door opened in my house and I saw a window, I would be like, the window seems more irrational than a demon.
and then he hears like a pounding from upstairs, and I swear that this is the only scene in the movie that made me actually jump, and it was the oldest daughter, what's her name?
Hold up. I have it written somewhere. Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because, like, this bitch, literally, I almost peed my pants. Because she's just standing in, like, her white nightgown at the top of the stairs, and the camera cuts to her so quick.
Oh, dang. Do I not have the oldest daughter in Canada?
She's irrelevant anyway, but, like...
Yeah, whatever. Oldest daughter. We'll call her oldest daughter.
Yeah, and so she's just standing at the top of the stairs, and the camera just pans up, and I straight up... I've seen this movie before, and I knew it was going to happen, but I jumped.
Oh, yeah. I did pee my pants a little bit.
Like, that's the only scene in the movie. I was like, ah!
And then she was like, yeah, she's bonking her head again.
Literally,
my sister's bonking her head.
This girl is giving herself a concussion, and she's just at the top of the stairs like, hey, she's kind of keeping me awake. Could you like make her not do that?
Which yes, later on they literally go or the dad or something was like, I've never seen her do this before. And I was like, how is the daughter being so chill that her sister's giving herself a concussion? If Mac was doing that, I'd be like, it's
I
okay. You don't have to be my brother anymore.
If my sister came to my room and started banging her head on my closet, I would straight up I'm like out at night. If I'm asleep, I'm out for good. And so like I sleep with a pair of scissors next to me in case like a murderer comes into my room. I'd straight up like I think I would go for the neck. Like I don't care. I wouldn't recognize that it's my sister.
Where do you put those scissors?
You don't need to worry about that.
God, I've slept with you in your room and I never knew you just had scissors hidden
It's
somewhere.
fine. I'm not
It's
gonna
all good. I
stab
roll
you.
over and just fucking get stabbed on some scissors that you left on the bed on accident.
No, I don't. They're not on my bed. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll just be sure not to like scare you in the middle of the night or
Oh
anything.
yeah, for sure. Cause I'll either stab you or punch you. So
Hopefully it's the punch, not I'd prefer getting punched over getting
yeah.
like
Either way,
stabbed and killed.
I aim for the neck. So
You're kidding me, bro.
no.
Okay, I'm too shook. We need to I'm anyways, back to the movie because I'm shook that I just figured out you sleep with knives next to me. Um the mom has another bruise on her body.
Oh
She wakes
yeah,
up bruised again.
she like all over the place. Like the like if this was because they're like having sex every night, like that's a problem.
No, literally. He goes, or she was like, "Is this because of you?" And he was like, "Did you just ask me if that was because of me?"
My next note is just birds be hitting these windows like this man's is hitting his wife.
My next note is birds just are fucking killing themselves.
I
They're just dying.
I think it
What like
makes sense.
if you okay, they always come up with an explanation as to why weird stuff is happening. So she has another bruise. It's really really bad, and then she goes, "It's because I have bad iron." And then the birds start killing themselves.
That is
What
definitely not how an iron deficiency works.
is it not? Because I have known people with
Well,
iron deficiencies, and nobody has ever had extreme bruising from
I
sleeping.
I literally don't like I can't see how that would work because like an iron deficiency, all that I know is like people just get like lightheaded most of the time.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that if you're iron deficient, you do bruise easier, but I don't think that that means that when you sleep on a bed that does not have hard objects on it, you wake up destroyed.
Oh, um I have something to address about one of the daughters in this movie.
Okay.
Um is one of the daughters Renesmee from Twilight?
Yes, yes, it is.
I
It is.
I saw her and I was like, no way.
It's Renesmee.
I I have a love-hate relationship with that girl.
I also do. Why do you have a love-hate relationship with that girl?
I I don't know. I just always imagine like the CGI baby and then that's like
That's
her.
that's me too. Why
It's
did they
so scary.
CGI the baby?
I don't know.
Why did they do it?
I feel like just because of that Twilight is a horror movie.
No, I literally looked into the. I'm going off topic, but I looked into the CGI of the baby. They had an actual baby, and then last minute we're like, let's CGI this little girl actor's face onto the baby, and I was like, nobody would have noticed if you didn't do it because nobody thinks, that baby, that infant looks nothing like the 10-year-old version. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
So I was like, why did they like if they just didn't do that, that movie would have gotten 2% better.
Yeah.
Never mind. It was great. It was great because of the CGI. I take it back.
Okay, so the next scene is April in her room, just like talking to herself apparently, but she's actually talking to Rory.
Which
And
why is she not in school? She is old enough to be in school.
I think, well, I think she would be in like preschool, maybe. I think she was supposed to be younger than she looks.
Yeah, because the entire movie, I was thinking this actress slash whatever, I don't know, is definitely 7 to 8 years old, which I believe
Yeah.
is school age.
Yeah, she would definitely, like, that actress would definitely be in first grade, but, like, I guess not.
All right, anyways, so April is music boxing it.
Yeah, and then there's like a jump scare because April like pops up behind when her mom's like looking for Rory in the mirror, and I just wrote in all caps, "Fuck you, April."
I know.
Like
The ju- that jump scare, bro.
if
I
my
pooped my
kid
pants.
if my kid did that to me, I would straight up punt kick them.
You just throw her out the window.
I think that I would punt kick this actress if I ever saw her.
Well, if I were her mom, I would like so this whole scene with April is messed up because it's April explaining the music box to her mom, which if my daughter was like, "Yeah, mom, there's this music box I have that's creepy as shit that if I play the music and look in the mirror, a little kid stands behind me." And then I did it and then she jumps up behind me. I'd be like, I'm going to kill you. I'm go can I
I
end your life?
I would shove that music box right into her nose.
I thought
I
I
was
thought you
gonna
were going to
I
say I thought
yeah.
you were going to say in her ass.
I was gonna say that, but then I remembered that it's a literal child, and I was like, that's probably not appropriate.
You paused. I just loved it because you went, I would shove that music box into her nose.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Anyways, so they start playing the
Hide and
and
clap.
seek game. Hide and
Clap
clap.
and seek. Clap and seek. Clap and seek.
They just clap and then seek.
I
Ew.
I'm gonna quote that for the rest of my life. Let's play some clap and seek. That sounds like a game that would go on in the cellar.
Ew. 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 I hate it. Want to play some clap and seek in the cellar?
do you, do you want to like go downstairs with me and play some like clap and seek?
Gonna one day just whisper that to someone that I'm in a
I
very intimate
I can
situation with.
imagine you doing that.
Let's play some
Vividly.
clap and seek. I'll be the seeker.
Stop. No.
Ew. Anyways.
I'll be the
Anyways.
clapper.
Stop. Anyways. Before I lose my shit, the mom and this little girl start playing seek. Oh God, is it seek and clap?
Hide and clap.
No, clap and seek. Wait, no.
Hide
What is
and
it?
clap.
Hide and clap. They start playing some hide and clap, and the mom is like, "Yo, clap again," and she hears a clap coming from this creepy wardrobe that came with the house.
Yeah.
And
No.
April's not in the wardrobe.
Of course April's not in the wardrobe.
Of course.
Because
Of course.
all we see are these like fucking gray hands popping out of this closet being like
These dry ass, unmoisturized.
like they need to visit Bath and Body Works pronto.
These little aged ass, wrinkly ass, gray ass hands.
I mean, yeah, it's like that's a dead person.
And she's like 2 feet away from these hands and they clap and she's like, April, I
She's
found
like, gotcha,
you.
bitch.
I know. So she jumps at the wardrobe and she's like, oh. And then April comes up behind her and is like, Mommy, you couldn't me.
You cheated.
And her mom was like, oh shit.
She literally blamed her mom for like cheating. She's like, you took your blindfold off. And I'm like, April, shut the fuck up.
Like, did you not fucking hear the clap?
I think
Like, if
okay, so are the hands supposed to be Rory?
ooh, that's a hard one.
Because that's where he hides. But
So it was weird because it looked like the woman's hands, but that is where he hides.
because she was on the wardrobe later. But
yeah.
But I don't know. I just can't imagine her playing that. You know?
See, okay, so here's the problem with that. So Rory is always wearing this little tuxedo looking thing,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. And then the mom's always wearing that dress, that white dress, right?
Oh, she ain't white anymore.
Oh, what?
Did you it is covered in dirt. Like
Oh yeah. So she's always wearing that dirty white dress.
yeah.
And so so what's weird is that when the hands reach out of the wardrobe, and later on when the mom's in the basement and there's another clapping thing where you see her hands
No,
again.
that's Rory.
Oh my god. Leave my room. I literally am so into this horror movie topic right now that I literally just peed my pants because Mac just came into my room.
Oh no.
Anyways, did you hear me scream?
Yeah, I did hear you scream. It was entertaining.
Anyways, both those times when there was clapping, like those claps, you see the arms come out, and the arms don't have the little tucks on them.
No.
They're like the white dress.
But in the basement, that's Rory because he's talking. Do you not remember? Because he says, "Do you want to play hide and clap?"
No, I know. Yeah, I remember the little kid being like, "You want to play hide and clap?" I just think it's strange. It was a strange move on the movie creator's part because when they have the hands come out, instead of it being like Rory's like little tux hands, they're all of a sudden they're this like the white dress hands. So I was confused because I was like, "Where the hell are Rory's hands?"
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Well, maybe he's like in his comfy clothes.
Let me change into my pajamas quick.
You don't know his life.
Can ghosts change?
God, I hope so. If I had to wear the same thing while I was dead forever.
Oh yeah, you're right. I guess so. I think it makes more sense if it was Rory clapping right here.
I also think it makes more sense because like I just don't think like the evil witch lady would want to play hide and clap.
No. Yeah, no.
Clap
So
and
we're
seek.
gonna assume that Rory is the one both times playing clap and seek.
Yeah.
So but
oh, do you want to go?
No, you go ahead, Queen.
Okay, so the next scene is the dad getting basically a shift, and he's like a truck driver or whatever. He delivers stuff.
Yeah.
So he's leaving. The man in the house is leaving. And since women can't do shit in the 70s, the demon is about to take over everything.
Yeah, and everything goes back to normal after he gets back. But, so it cuts to a scene, it cuts back to a scene with Christine and Nancy.
Yeah, and Joey King is about to be dragged so hard that she's like straight up about to be canceled. Like,
she gets dragged so hard to never being in Hollywood again.
I was screaming when she was like, "Let me look under the bed." Who does that?
Oh my god. I literally was like, if I were on my bed, because she gets yanked again. Both her feet are out of the blanket. She gets yanked again, and she starts looking around her bed and was like, I'm gonna peek my head underneath. If I were in her situation, I would have been like, Nancy! Wake up!
I would have woken my sister up so fast.
So fast, bro. Like, I don't want to be alone sitting there looking underneath my bed and then getting yanked into like hell. You know what I mean?
If I'm gonna die, at least I'm not dying alone. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I'd wake Nancy up.
But not only does she look over the front of her bed, where like somebody would be grabbing her feet, she looks under the side of the bed completely. And I was like, you dumb bitch. Like, why? Get your little eyes back up towards the ceiling, cover your head with a blanket, go back to sleep. That's it. Good night.
The blanket is like a protective, like, shield.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And she just mishandled that power.
She disrespects the protection of a blanket this whole movie.
Yeah. So you know, the whole Christine being an idiot thing happens. She eventually, at some point after checking everything and putting her head under the bed and like putting herself in weird ass situations with the demon, was like, Nancy, and then Nancy was like, yeah. And then she kind of is like, Nancy, I'm flipping my shit because
she could like see something behind the door.
Yeah. There's something behind the door.
And Nancy's like, bitch, I don't fucking see. And I was like, Nancy, you wear glasses. Of course you can't see.
You silly goose.
Like, her prescription isn't for seeing dead people, I guess. So,
I wish we could have, as the viewers, seen what was behind the door.
I also wish that, because not being able to see what was there really pissed me off. And it pisses me off every time I watch this movie.
Because she was like, it's standing right behind you. And I was like, but I can't see it, so I don't believe it.
I'm going to choose to imagine that it was just a person in a fursuit.
Oh, I'm
Because
gonna
that would terrify me.
I'm gonna imagine that it was Joey King's ex from Kissing Booth.
It's just the whole cast of the Kissing Booth.
There's something behind you. Cue the dude from Kissing Booth.
No, it is the Kissing Booth, and it's just like
It's the movie. It's the promo.
it's just the movie poster. She's like, Nancy, do you see that? And Nancy's like, oh my god, straight people, no.
She's like, get it away from me.
She's like, no,
And then it slams
no.
the door.
Oh yeah, like the power of the Kissing Booth slammed the door shut.
It'd be so funny. Why has nobody turned that into a meme?
And
That
then,
is too good.
okay, so is that the night where the dad comes home to the mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So the dad comes back, and once again, for some reason, every time the dad shows up in this movie, the demon chills out. But the dad comes into the room with the mom, and
we forgot that I don't know, but Carolyn, is that the mom's name?
yeah.
She
Yeah.
Gets locked in the fucking sex dungeon.
Does that happen yet?
Yeah, because oh no, it doesn't. Oh, ignore me.
Because that happens when that's later on.
Yeah.
But so the mom and the dad come into the room at this time, and Joey King explains the whole thing to mom and dad, and is like, the demon said, I want your family dead. And then they continue to not be shook. They're not scared.
I enjoyed how this demon was straight up like, I'm going to wring you all through a wringer full of blades and chop you up into pieces. And they're like, you know what, that kind of sounds fun, like let's just stay here.
The family was like, I don't know, things seem kind of normal. Might have been the window.
They're like, might have been the window.
That's what they blame it on every single time.
I think that they liked it. I think they liked the attention.
Honestly, it was the 70s, and like saying that your house was haunted would get you clout, bro.
Exactly. Cause like,
what if that's all this was?
Oh, I for sure. When it says that it's based on a true story, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah,
because
I looked into some of it, and it was basically just like a bunch of fraud articles I found, and I was like, ooh.
Well, because there's like no technology back then, so you don't really need substantial proof.
You couldn't get it anyway.
Yeah, like you could literally record something and have like the fish line in it, but the cameras were so shit you couldn't see it.
Oh yeah, and there wasn't like, well, it was the 70s, so people couldn't just Google how legitimate is this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't do your own research without having to go through extreme steps to figure out how legit something is.
Exactly.
So at the time period, this whole like Ed and Lorraine Warren and this whole story was probably like crazy shit, and everyone was like, oh man, like this is a big deal, it's actually happening. But like when I looked into it, I was like, oh, that's really sad, because like a part of me was like, man, I want this to be real, how interesting would that be? And then I looked into how like a lot of their cases were debunked and proven as false, and they didn't have any substantial evidence other than claiming that things that they saw, and some like bad footage, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I enjoyed how, I'm just gonna skip over the scene with the Warrens like at the house.
Oh yeah, every Warren scene's very slow.
It was so boring. I'm over it already.
Yeah.
But I like how after this like thing, whatever was in the room was like, I'm gonna kill your whole family, everybody just goes back to sleep soundly like the next night.
Oh, they do. And the mom has another bruise.
Oh yeah, and it's like substantial.
Oh, it's bad. It's black. Like it's bad. But she kind of brushes it off again, and then starts hearing the clapping.
Okay, yeah, she hears
at night.
She hears the clapping, but then all of the family pictures just fall down. Literally, the whole house is fucking breaking, and not one kid wakes up.
Oh, you're right.
None
of the children wake up.
Like, if that happened, I literally wake up when somebody like knocks at my door lightly, but like.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking earthquake went down, and all these kids are like, sleep time.
It was loud, and all these kids were like, our house isn't scary.
5
Eh.
children. 5 children, and not one of them woke up.
Oh, and the dad's gone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's gone. He's not home.
But, like,
So the mom's
irrelevant.
alone. Irrelevant. But it's just another one of those things where the demon's like, vulnerable women.
Literally.
But so the pictures break, and I would like to note, the mom walks past the photos, and the clock chimes 3 times.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
So I took notice because I was like, I heard the clock go off and chime, and I was like, did it go off 3 times? It did, right?
Yeah.
So shortly after the clock chimes 3 times, the basement door opens and the piano plays downstairs, and 3 chords are played on the piano.
I was really looking forward to a piano recital, and we did not receive that.
Because the piano was there, and it showed up several times throughout the movie, and there was nothing other than like a couple chords being played.
I was waiting for some like full on da na na na, you know.
It just starts playing like lo-fi.
It's just like the YouTube playlist of the lo-fi girl.
It starts playing Wade in the Water.
Oh.
It's a choir kid. I'm sorry.
Oh, but okay, in my notes, I wrote down so the mom gets like she's like, I'm gonna call the cops on whoever's in my basement, which okay, go ahead, threaten the demon, like go off, I guess. But then she gets smashed by this door. And all I could think about when she was falling down the stairs is Pussy talented to do cartwheels.
Oh my
Like
god.
I I just think
Pussy talented to cartwheel.
but well this
She died. How did she live?
okay, literally. She like falls down these old ass stairs onto like a cement floor and is completely like, okay. But then once again, not a single kid woke up. And then we go back upstairs. We like pan back upstairs with the camera, and the sister is in the one Renesmee is in the room headbanging again. She's like she's having a full on rock concert. And why did they keep this closet, first of all?
Oh, yeah, the wardrobe doesn't fit the room's vibe anyway,
It's
but it's
not
also creepy.
it's not cute. And it's also haunted as shit.
They could have easily, okay, speaking of not removing this wardrobe. So the dad has seen that his daughter for some reason bangs his head on it, which he said was not normal. And then the mom had an experience with the wardrobe when she was playing clap and seek. What the fuck am
No.
I saying?
Hide and
Hide and
clap.
clap. Hide and clap. So when the mom was playing hide and clap, she also had that really scary experience. I would just like to say that whenever the dad experiences something and whenever the mom experiences something, they don't tell each other it
I
until like an hour into the movie.
I feel like this movie is like, this is why you need to communicate with your spouse.
I know, like, I'm sorry, but like, even if I wasn't married to someone, Tara, I literally, if I was, I've chilled with you at your house and had some weird stuff happen, and I straight up just go, hey, Tara, can I tell you something? Like, I don't know, I just don't want to be like the only one experiencing that. So you bet your ass that if someone like popped out of a wardrobe and clapped while I was trying to play a game with my kid, I would tell my hubby so fast.
I think
So fast.
that I would I don't even care what they say, because like I feel like most men can't admit that like ghosts are real, even if they're not. Like they can't admit that anything is like not
Possible.
the fucking window. And
Yeah.
so I feel like if she would have told him, he would have been like, time to like fix the furnace, I guess, or some shit. And so
Time to measure the square footage.
I would literally just start packing and being like, if you don't come with me, you're not with me. So
Yeah.
bye, I guess. Divorce papers will be delivered on Sunday. Like
It took her having to get yeeted around for her to say anything to her husband.
But even then, like the husband came home, which is the only reason that he knew, most likely.
Oh yeah.
Cuz like this bitch would have just like let it go if he just like didn't come over. Like the door just opened, she would have been like, "Huh, that was weird."
He didn't want to have to pay for the paranormal investigators to come in.
No, he didn't want to have to pay for a whole new house.
Oh, period. Which is why he was like, later on, Ed was like, "Why don't you guys just move out?" And he was like, "Money,
I
money,
just
money."
I don't understand the dad in this movie.
I don't either. But back to the scene. So, mom gets clocked by the demon, clapped by this demon, just totally destroyed.
In the sex
Um,
dungeon.
in the sex dungeon, just like, and quite literally clapped. Like she's chilling on the staircase after getting punched down. She goes back up it, uses a little lighter to see
It's a
what's in
match.
front of her. A match, excuse me. And this demon's just like, and she's like, and then the kids upstairs also get clapped by a demon.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, because she so like the oldest sister like puts the girl into her bed and then hears something coming from the wardrobe, and all of a sudden the camera pans to Renesmee sitting up in bed, and she's just like, what the fuck? And like the oldest sister looks up, and there's just like a woman on her wardrobe.
not a very cute woman though.
Smash or pass?
I think I would pass
She's kind of
because
bendy though.
she's bendy, but like teeth.
Yeah.
I feel like a person has to have clean teeth in order
Or
to get clapped by moi.
or at least have teeth.
Oh, did she not have teeth?
I feel like she has like one tooth.
I don't know. It was pretty dark in her mouth, bro. I did not see anything white in her mouth.
Well, they are probably yellow if she had any.
Yeah, so I feel like you can be as bendy as you want. You can have a dump truck for all I care. But like if you have some nappy teeth, you are passed by me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hence the passing.
Okay, so now that we have that clarified,
Yes.
okay, so she like jumps down, attacks the sister, and then
Everyone's screaming, the dad comes home.
yeah, and then it kind of just like we like see that him like kind of like pick the oldest daughter up and everything, but then it like cuts to like Demons 101 with
Oh, it
the
does.
Warrens.
Oh yeah, it goes back to the Warrens, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's basically just the mom with from the haunted house being like, please come like look at my house, and Lorraine's like, of course, sweetie.
But then Ed is like, Lorraine.
Ed is like, what, why?
He's like, Lorraine, I don't want to do it. I want to clap.
He's like, can we just like go, we had like plans.
Literally, like this mom is just begging for their help, and Lorraine's like, Ed, stop. Just give her a chance. Ed's like, no.
Lorraine's like,
I don't know.
dude, she has like 5 kids, and Ed's like, but like we had dinner plans, and I just like,
Ed's like, I don't know. Just fuck off. You know what I mean?
but then
Screw you.
they eventually like decide to go to the house, and it cuts to the episode of the Brady Bunch with Jan's wig, which I screamed about because that episode is iconic.
Oh dang! Look at you've seen the Brady Bunch?
Oh hell yeah, I've seen the Brady Bunch.
Same.
But then okay,
I
so Ed and Lorraine show up at this house, and when they walk in, Lorraine is giving her like bitchiest glare at these people.
Oh, I know.
It shows
And
why.
they try to play it off like what? They try to play it off like she's like doing it because she's scared. But I was like,
like if somebody looked at me like that, I would just run away.
I would be like, I'll keep the demon. Get out of my house.
Thanks a lot, bye bye.
I don't need you here. You know what I mean? Like she was giving a crappy look.
I just can't. I can't get over it because she looks at Dad like that, and then she looks at the kids like that. But when it shows like why she was looking at them like that, because like she saw the spirit connected to them.
Yeah.
It just kind of looks like it wants to be part of the family photo.
It okay, hold up. Low-key it does though, because all it shows is like this dark shadow that's kind of lingering behind them, not doing anything. And I was like, okay. And I'm assuming that shadow was Rory because it was short, right?
It was not. I don't think it was short.
When it was behind the girls, it was short.
No.
Oh, was it not?
Because it was above the youngest. Like it was taller than that.
Oh, hold the frick up.
Lorraine said that it was the hateful energy. I don't think she would have
Oh.
given a shit if it was Rory.
So, do you think Rory's a good little boy?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Rory was just
Did Rory ever do anything bad?
no, he was just trying to help them the whole movie.
Now that I'm thinking about it, Rory was murked by his mom. He didn't have any say.
Yeah, he was literally murdered.
By his mom.
Yeah, kind of a bad way to go out, I guess.
Yeah, okay, I take it back. Rory's a good kid. I the mom was or Lorraine was shitting her pants, so it must have been the mom that was latching to the family at the time.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
but
it's weird that
What are you doing again?
that was Mac again.
wow.
Leave, bro.
I love you.
Anyways, go ahead.
I think that it's weird that once Ed and Lorraine showed up, their house, it's like looking up your sickness on Google and you just match every symptom.
Oh,
Because all of a sudden, their house, Ed and Lorraine were like, yeah, these are all symptoms of like a demonic presence.
yeah, you're right. They were like, you have HIV, but
no.
for haunted houses.
Stop. No.
It'd be kind of silly though. I mean, I do think they basically are like doctors, but for
I
dead people.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't call them a doctor. I think that they're more like I don't even
Their net
they're
worth.
the Ghostbusters. Like
I'm gonna check on their net worth quick.
oh shit. Okay, so if they put all their money in this house, are they paying Ed and Lorraine or are they just doing that shit for free?
I don't know, but I do. Man, first of all, I doubt that they did it for free because I feel like a lot of what they did was for money because they wanted money.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but Lorraine alone, her net worth was $1 to $2 million.
Oh, in the 70s?
Bro, that's a lot of money.
Shit.
That is insane. Hold up, can I just check? So that was Lorraine alone. Ed's net worth? No way.
I bet he made more, didn't he?
It says yes, he did significantly more. Their combined net worth was 12 million.
Oh, okay. No.
That's a lot of money, dude, for the 70s especially.
That and they lived in that house?
Kind of junky, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that they made that much.
That's insane. Anyways, back to whatever. So Lorraine's shitting her pants
Yeah.
because she's like, "Ew, like there's a bad energy in here. I don't like it." You know what I mean?
And then she like goes out to the tree and we see like the witch lady hanging.
Oh yeah, and she has like a breakdown in front of Ed,
Of
who
course.
is fine, a fine man in this movie.
I don't know.
I think Ed is. I thought I was.
The sideburns
Geeking.
don't do it for me.
I don't know. I was like, well, it's the 70s, so sideburns were it. I don't know. I was like the entire time I was watching the movie, like, dang, hi Ed, hi Edgar. Ew, that's your dog's name. I'm sorry.
So
Anyways, backstory of the house. So it skips to a scene where Ed and Lorraine are doing some research and they figure out some of the backstory on the house, which is that this mom who is a Satanist killed herself and her kids in the name of Satan.
yeah.
And the mom hung herself. She put like one of her kids in the pond, and then Rory disappeared in the woods. Nobody knows where Rory went.
Well,
So that's like a
we
brief
know where
backstory.
Rory is.
Oh, he's with the house now.
Oh, he fucking dead. Like
He flirting with April.
true.
Low key though.
The love story that no one asked for.
Kind of gross.
Yeah.
Kind of gross.
Can we skip over the scene where they're back home and Judy gives like the fucking necklace, like, oh, sappy, like.
I don't even think I took notes on that.
Every scene where there was like actual emotion, I was just bored.
Well, any scene that was in the Warren house, I kind of was like,
Yeah.
But
But even
I,
like some of the beginning scenes with the main family, I was like, this is boring.
oh, when they were like, yeah, I love my family. This is a good time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely don't like when I'm seeing a horror movie. And because like when I watch a horror movie, I for some reason I don't know if this makes me sound like a bad person. Well, it's not because it's a movie. But when I watch a horror movie, all I want to see is like death. I want to watch people
Oh
die,
yeah.
and I want to be scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I'm watching a horror movie and no one dies, plus it's super lovey-dovey and like kind of like commercial-y in the way that it's like, oh, happy family. I'm kind of like, I did not pay to see this. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I paid to shit my pants,
Yeah.
and I'm not doing it. Which is
Um.
kind of how this movie goes for literally a majority of, like a vast majority of it.
Okay. So the next scene is like everybody getting at the house to collect evidence so they can like exorcise the house. Um.
Yeah.
And so there's like a cop that shows up, their camera like tech guy that shows up, and that's like their squad.
Oh,
Along
and
with
the
the
camera
ones.
tech guy flirts with the oldest daughter.
Yeah, another love story that none of us asked for in this fucking movie.
Well, also turns into nothing. It's like a brief, like, haha, that's groovy.
Stop.
That's what she says to him. He's like, hey, check out our technology. And then the oldest daughter's like, groovy.
Wow. Iconic.
I was like, ew, I hate it. Because the way the actress said it was just so, like, cringy. Because it was, like, so obvious she was trying really, like, to use it and make it sound normal. So she was like,
Of course.
groovy. I was like, ew,
But then,
ew.
so then they like have the house set up for everything. They have like a little second where like the cop is using the bathroom and they thought that it was the ghost. But then they actually hear the basement door opening. And so
Yes.
they grab the camera, they go down there, and like nothing shows itself. But
Yeah.
I will say, if they asked me, like as the camera person, to go up those stairs last,
No.
I would tell
E-
them to go and off themselves because what? Like how?
especially because when they're going up the stairs, Ed, if you remember, Ed like looks back because there's like a noise behind them.
Yeah.
And the cameraman just looks back. And I was like, if I were the cameraman, I would have pushed my way past Ed, made
Ed
him go behind me, and pushed him back down the stairs and left.
Ed would literally be on the floor because I would have yeeted him so hard. Like
Especially because he was kind of the wuss. Like the cop was kind of supposed to be like the wuss, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And I was like, so why did he not flip his shit?
exactly. Um
Um,
but
but anyway,
then we like so it kind of like it doesn't really go anywhere for a while, and then we like skip to breakfast and it's like all lovey-dovey and shit, and then Lorraine is doing some laundry and Ed comes up and is like, I can get used to this, and I wanted to sock him in the face.
your fight or flight got triggered.
But then so he leaves and all of a sudden the sun just goes by, and um
Oh my god, another moment of like the man leaves.
yeah, and then
What
so
what is up with this movie?
I don't know, but then Lorraine is like, let me just take these sheets down still, even though it's literally about to like, I don't know, there's like a tornado coming in.
Rain.
And so she like tries to grab this sheet and the sheet like runs away from her, but it did kind of say hourglass when it stuck to the ghost, you know?
Oh, it did because the blanket like hit a demon, and so it
Yeah.
was like it went around its body.
Yeah, and I was like, oh damn, like pop off.
You went, oh,
I can see
okay.
why you sold your soul now. Like,
I can see why you sold your soul now because you got a dump truck.
yeah, a badonk.
She like has like an OnlyFans in hell.
Oh my god, Satan is like her number one payer.
I'm in the top 1% in hell.
I strive to be that.
Oh my god, I would pee my pants. That would be I should make a fucking movie off of that. But
Oh,
anyways,
yeah.
she the demon lady, the blanket hits her. You see her body. then she like flies up into the window, and you can see her in the window, and then she walks away. And then Lorraine's like, gotta go save the mom because the mom's in that room.
Yeah, and then
So she goes to her mom.
Carolyn literally, she like eats puke.
My God, I put that in my notes. I literally put in my notes that I was physically cringing
Oh,
because she eats the demon's puke.
this this recording is just gonna have like my Windows pop up sounds every once in a while.
Oh, that's fine.
T.
I hear it and I go, ew.
Oh, so not only is she possessed, and Lorraine's like, what the fuck? But then the husband gets home, right? And
Yeah.
he obviously doesn't know that his wife is possessed, but instead of like checking up on his wife that's like alone in the house where there's a demon attached to them, he's like,
Yeah.
let me go drink some beers with Ed by my rundown car.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I in this movie, why do men have the audacity?
I don't know, but it's so funny because they just chill by the car for a while, and then Ed drags Roger low key.
And then okay, and then Lorraine literally does all of the work in this movie, and Ed is just taking all of the credit. All he does is
Oh,
believe in God.
and now that I think about it, he really doesn't do much. Like his character, which I looked even into the actual Ed and Lorraine. Lorraine was supposedly like born with a God-given talent of being able to hear the dead.
Yeah.
Um, and then Ed was a not ordained minister, so he literally had no power.
Exactly.
I was like, what is like? So she just married this dude, and then the dude was like, "Oh, I guess I'll join." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know,
I
kind of lame.
yeah,
But it's funny because the whole movie makes it out to seem like these two dudes are like real big strong men who like save the world. Which even in the end, oh my God, we'll get to that.
yeah, the end pisses me off in this fucking movie. I can't.
Oh, it does. Me as well.
Um
Um,
so then we get okay, so then the next scene that I like actually thought was significant was when the officer like hears the wind chimes and gets freaked out, and I was like, "Oh, is that the wind? Is that the wind, Mr.
oh,
Man?" Um like
that's the only thing that I wouldn't have been shook by.
he changes his mind as fast as I change my views on love. Like
I just peed my pants.
because
I
I
just
kid you not,
wheezed.
he blames everything on the wind, and then he sees this dead ass woman. Is that this part?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And she's like, "Look what she made me do," and she's just like shoving her wrist in this guy's face, and I obviously he was shook.
She really sang a Taylor Swift lyric.
Yeah. And and then so their daughter starts sleepwalking up the stairs, and Ed straight up goes, "We need the evidence." Like, no, I think I would like my kid alive.
Which okay, well, dumb move on her parents' part, even though because the parents literally are like, so I'm gonna go get my daughter, and then Ed was like, no, and then they were like, okay, we're just gonna listen to this man,
Yeah, like this stranger is in their house, and they're like, "Okay, sure."
and then their daughter literally gets like the door slammed and
And
shoved
disappears.
into a wardrobe.
Like it's a true crime case now, because where the fuck did she go?
But then Roger's like, where did she go, Ed? And I was like, low key, kind of your fault for even like taking this man's advice. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
for sure.
But he's mad at Ed for some reason. He's like, where did she go? And I was like, okay, well,
Okay, and then the way they find her is using the UV light. But can you explain to me how? Because UV lights. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I was under the impression that they show like human prints from like a long period of time. Like it shows the span of a long period of time because like if you use them in a hotel room, you can see shit.
yeah.
But why, when they put it on the floor, is there only one set of footprints?
Oh, yeah. It was like the room was like, I noticed that as well. I was like, okay, so people walk into the bedroom barefoot all the time because it's a bedroom. And then there's one pair of barefoot steps, and then on the wardrobe, which is also touched all the time because kids, clap clap, like this
Literally
girl's
a
banging her head
girl.
on it.
Like,
Yeah. So like I was like, why is it that there's like this whole room is squeaky clean except for this girl's one footsteps coincidentally that lead to the wardrobe and give away her hiding spot. You know what I mean?
it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. That was definitely a not thought through part on behalf of the producers of the movie. But so they find her. She's behind the wardrobe in this little hole that is in the wall in a secret hiding spot.
Yeah.
That's really creepy.
And
but
then Lorraine decides, let me crawl in there.
With the music box. She takes the music box with her.
No, she asks for Ed to hand it to her. And I don't know what the point of that was. Like, placing it in the spot where it was in the dust isn't gonna, like, it's not gonna open a secret passage. Like, you can.
Now that I think about it, that back room, that whole scene, nothing relevant happened back there except for the fact she kind of got herself into a screwed situation by falling.
She saw the rope. It's a fucking noose.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
What?
And then she falls through the floor.
She took a little tumble. But
she took the biggest tumble.
But she's still awake. She literally fell through the house and is like conscious.
And also, none of the mom earlier on in the movie when she fell down the stairs, and then Lorraine when she fell through the entire house, both times neither one of them came out with any broken bones.
Yeah.
Even though both of them definitely should have had to go to a hospital, receive medical attention for those falls.
So they she's like in the basement and she sees like this woman who killed somebody because the witch made her do it. And that's pretty much the scene, and then they find her, and then they go upstairs, and all of a sudden so Lorraine is calling the witch out. And she don't like that. So this cross goes 180, turns upside down. No, not a good sign. And then
nope.
Nancy gets grabbed by the hair, and it's like Mario Kart on X Games mode. She is just yeeted back and forth in this living room, and Lorraine cuts her hair.
Oh my god. Which, okay, if someone cut my hair, I don't care if there's like a demon on it. Maybe I would have preferred the demon over getting my hair cut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think because why?
Like, well, just ask maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, just be like, hey, Nance, can I cut your hair, please? Which, by the way, Nancy later on in the movie shows no difference in her hair.
Oh yeah, and can I just say, if scissors work to stop a ghost from pulling her, why not just fucking punch the ghost?
I don't think they can see the ghost.
Well,
they start punching the air.
They can see where it's dragging her. Like, fucking stab the hands. Don't cut her hair.
Or what else could I don't know?
They could have grabbed the hair.
Ed could have just whipped out his chant earlier on.
Oh yeah, exercise.
His little exercise. Yeah, they waited till the very last second to exercise the house, even though they knew that it needed to be exercised.
Yeah.
Like, they waited very last second, even though they had been talking about it for a while. But anyways, the little Nancy gets dragged around the house by her hair. And then gets copped.
Yeah, they kind of are we have enough evidence to show, which thank God,
took long enough.
If that wasn't, I think there was enough when the recording was just a, you know.
I thought it was enough when the door started slamming and they were in the basement and Lorraine was having cramps.
Yeah, exactly. I think they had enough proof a while ago, but they were like, let's get more.
They were like, I don't know. Oh, which, by the way, after, they decided they got enough proof, they decided to go talk to the Catholic priest. And I would say that the Catholic priest was a bitch. Yeah. Because he was like, I don't know if I want to help this family because they haven't been baptized and they're not a part of the church. I was like, fuck you. Like, what? Like, they explained the situation to this priest, how extreme it was, and about like how this family has 5 kids, and the priest was like, I don't know if I can help because they're not a part of the church, they're not baptized. I was like, who are you? Like, are you a man of God, like saying that you like love all, and then you're gonna be like, no, I don't want to help?
Yeah, he's kind of a, I don't know.
I literally was like, get out of this movie,
Um,
get out of here.
but then I say we just kind of skim past. So basically, back at home, because Lorraine saw like a vision of her daughter in the lake at the house, and
Yeah.
it was really stupid. Um,
Yes, very
and
dumb.
then back at home, Judy's necklace is going fucking sicko mode,
Oh, it is, it's wiggling.
and she wakes up and like goes downstairs, and she's like yelling, "Mom, Dad!" Like obviously they're not home, and she sees
Shut the fuck up,
she,
Judy.
she sees that Annabelle isn't in like her little freaking chair in the little cubby, and instead of, I don't know,
Going
like,
to Nana.
yeah, she like tries to go back upstairs, and the upstairs is just consumed in darkness, and so she like locks herself in the study, and like the, I don't, what's the witch's name, like I don't, this,
So, well, we'll just call her the witch. I don't know
yeah,
what the
this
fucking.
bitch is in the chair like brushing Annabelle's hair, and Judy's like, ah, and finally the Nana decides to wake up, and
After the door gets slammed
yeah,
and after like all these loud noises. But it takes forever for the Nana to get out of bed, by the way. Like Judy's over here like, help! And then Nana's like, huh?
she,
Huh?
she's, the Nana's literally at the door like, Judy, Judy,
Judy,
come
do
out.
you need help? Meanwhile, Judy's in the room being like, I'm gonna die!
And then
I
so
was like, but also Judy made a dumb
true.
mistake by literally when she walked up those stairs after like Annabelle wasn't in her room or wasn't in the little box. I would have been like, I'm gonna go to Nana's room. She was like, no,
I
I'm gonna go into this dark room alone
I
and
would have
lock the door.
yeeted myself out of that house in that moment.
Oh, that's true. She could have just left.
Yeah, it's the 70s. What's gonna happen?
Yeah, rape didn't exist in the 70s.
Well,
You're like,
okay.
Anyways, demons in the rocking chair.
Yeah.
Ed and Lorraine come home.
Yeah, the only part of this movie that was like, okay, Ed's kind of hot is when he like, the rocking chair was like being thrown at his kid, and he whipped that bitch out.
Take the garbage out. Garbage.
Sorry, moment of silence. Everyone keeps walking into my room. I could just edit it out later.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, that was, yeah. He's zaddy.
Yeah.
He's very attractive.
So then, after this scene that really has no relevance to the movie whatsoever, they like, he gets a call from Ed, and Carolyn has taken Joey Kane and April, and
Oh yeah,
is
yeah.
literally about to go kill him.
Murk them,
Which,
end their lives.
like, fair enough. Joey Kane kind of deserves it. But,
Well, so does April.
yeah, honestly, if they both would have died, I would have been like, yeah, fair.
I feel like if anybody in that movie would have died, I would have been content.
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally any, like think of any of the characters in that movie that you would have been upset over them dying. You know what I mean?
Oh, I got to the part in my notes about the sex dungeon.
Oh, okay.
So they get to the house and like stop Carolyn from killing the kids, and they freaking cuff her to this chair.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they use cuffs.
Oh crap.
And
So there are cuffs down there?
yeah, and she's covered with a sheet.
Okay, yeah. It's a little,
Well, the cop has cuffs. They're not down there.
Okay, but still.
Yeah.
You're training the ghosts like BDSM, you know what I'm saying?
But then so Ed early in the movie was like, I can't do an exorcism, and then he was like, let me whip out my Latin real quick and do this.
Which I literally wrote right the second that he was like speaking Latin. I was like, ooh, Ed is bilingual.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I was like, another zaddy moment. Like, why, how, you don't, he literally earlier on in the film was like, it takes years to train and learn how to exercise someone. This man who's never in his life done it all of a sudden was like, yeah, I'll do it.
I don't understand, but it's fine.
Like, you can't just fluently speak Latin, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even read it
Yeah.
properly if you don't know how to speak it, you know what I mean?
But then, so the the camera guy basically puts Joey King in the car and can't find April, so he goes back to look for her. And so while they're downstairs trying to exercise Carolyn,
Yeah. He's looking for
the
April.
entire bourgeoisie of birds.
Oh, yeah. Starts kamikazing onto the house.
It
yes.
is a bird massacre.
One goes into the basement, one comes into the kitchen, like
It's off. Like, those birds just gone forever. Bye.
it made me kind of sad. Anytime anything happened in the movie that involved an animal was the only that happened to an animal was the only time I was like, "Aw." Like, why did the animals have to die? Like, why couldn't it have been any of the kids or the mom or the dad? You know what I mean?
And during the exorcism, she's just like barfing up blood, and the husband's like, "Stop!" And Ed's like, "No, like, if we stop, her soul's gone." And I'm like, "Oh, her soul's already gone. Like, just give it up."
Low key, the mom screaming was funny.
Oh yeah, it was really funny.
I was the entire time like, why is she screaming like that?
But then it just goes silent, and I was like, "Oh, that's not a good sign."
Oh yeah,
And she just starts
floating.
Like,
and then she do a flip.
yeah, like it looked like the Ghost Challenge pictures, kind of.
It did. It
Um,
did.
But then she breaks the chair, and
on her back, by the
bitch
way.
is set free.
Oh yeah, the demon is tries clapping Ed.
And then okay,
goes for Ed.
Why couldn't the demon like use the shotgun when it was in the chair?
Oh, you're right, because once she gets out of the chair, she uses her powers to like try to shoot Ed, and then Roger saves him. But I was like, if you could have done that the whole time, then what? Like, maybe it's because that's when Ed was chanting, but he was chanting it even after the fact, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he was, and then she basically was like, "Fuck you," and like tried to
I'll
shoot him.
you.
And then
yeah.
So the guy yells out where the kid is hiding, and
oh my god, he could have just taken her out himself.
And then Carolyn starts crawling at the speed of light, and is like about to murder her kid, and Lorraine just runs off, and we don't know where she goes, and everyone's like, "Carolyn, stop!" And then Lorraine puts her hand down on Carolyn's head, and it's like,
I peed my pants.
It's like, positive affirmations, Carolyn. Positivity. We choose positivity in this household.
She was like, "You love your daughter," and then the mom was like, "No."
But then she goes Sarah Paulson mode. It's like,
like, no, that is what she.
And I was like, "Shut
that
up!"
That is what she started doing. She was like, "Ah."
But okay.
The entire time I kept thinking that's my mom when she's mad at me, and then my dad trying to console her.
But then, so the exorcism did shit. But then Lorraine being like, "This isn't who you are," was like enough to like tell this demon off. Like, the demon's just gone.
The demon was like, "Stop trying to make her a good mom."
The demon was like, "This is too sappy for me," and just left. And literally, it's like, that's the end.
That's yep. The demon's gone.
Bullshit.
That is the worst ending to any movie. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've seen some pretty bad horror movies. In fact, I know a lot of people who have seen The Conjuring who are like, "Wow, I shat my pants." I don't see it. You know what I mean?
Not scary whatsoever.
It's probably, I would say, like, on a rating of how scary it was, I'll give it a 1.5 for the few jump scares that were in it. You know what I mean?
Is it out of 5, or are we ranking out of 5?
Should we do 10? Let's rate it out of 10.
Okay, out of 10. I would give it a solid 3.
Why 3? Explain that.
if we're going based off like fear factor, I the only scene that I like jumped a little at wasn't even like a jump scare. It was when the bitch was standing on the stairs.
It was when she was standing on the stairs.
Because
I
it
would
just
say that I've been more frightened during movies that weren't even categorized or categorized as horror movies.
yeah. When I watched this movie, I was like, oh, okay,
It wasn't. It definitely, the ending could have been so much better.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
like there's so much more they could have done. With the mom, they could have killed someone,
They
and they
just one
didn't.
person, just at least one person.
Which I was talking to I think I was talking to my mom about this, about how, like, you know, my mom was like, "Well, there's something satisfying about everyone living," and I was like, "No, there isn't. There's something satisfying about like people dying, because you go to a horror movie to be frightened, so it's
Yeah,
not satisfying when there's this ending that's happy, because it's so satisfying to not have a happy ending, because then you're like, ooh, I got what I intended to see. You know what I mean?"
exactly. I just think that they could have done a lot more with this movie, and they just didn't.
Oh yeah. So it oh, the ending is happy, whatever. It ends with the mom not in being possessed anymore. Nobody dies, and then it cuts to like the Warrens' house and them having the music box, and the music box plays for a little bit.
Yeah,
And even that, even the ending right there is so
exactly.
bad because it doesn't show anything.
They could have done a jump scare, but then they were like, time for credits.
Because they make it seem like there's something gonna show up on the music box, because it shows the
Yeah,
music box in their haunted layer thing, and the music box doesn't do anything. It
absolutely.
just it plays for a bit and it shows you the mirror, so you're like, oh, there's gonna be something in the mirror, and there's nothing in the mirror. Nothing. It was pointless. The scene was pointless. It was to make you think that, oh, there actually might be a good ending, and then it was like, nope.
So that's The Conjuring.
That is The Conjuring.
Um, we ranked it already. We did smash or pass throughout the episode. Um, that's
We did smash or pass throughout the episode.
those are like our main goals always. So
Hold up. Okay, I'm gonna ask a couple of smash or pass.
okay,
Would you smash or pass Roger, the
Roger.
dad?
Oh,
Roger is the
pass
dad.
100%.
Okay. How about the camera dude?
Okay,
Who?
this is the thing. I feel uncomfortable because I don't think the oldest daughter is 18, so I don't know how old he is.
Oh, hold up. Maybe I can look it up.
Because I feel uncomfortable.
Rating a not 18-year-old character.
Exactly. So,
Okay, hold up. I'll look up how old the oldest daughter was supposed to be. Give me a second, because that would be weird rating him.
I don't, like, you know.
He's supposed to be 19.
Oh, okay, then smash. Duh.
He said smash. Obviously. Yeah, no,
Duh.
I think he was also like one of the only characters that I would not have, if he died, I feel like I would have been like,
Yeah,
that's sad.
if he died, I would have been a little upset. Cause like,
But that's the only character I would have been sad about,
yeah,
because he was the only one that wasn't a total, um other than him screaming where the daughter's location was at.
yeah, that part was stupid, but I don't think he deserved to die for that.
I don't think he deserved to die for it.
I think Jenny
I
Kane should have died.
For
Just an
keeping her
opinion.
feet outside of the blanket.
Just for being her.
Overall, I think the movie, in terms of being a horror movie, uh and if I would like tell people to watch it, I think if there was somebody who is like, yeah, I'm not really into horror movies, or I haven't seen a lot of horror movies, so I want to watch something that's not that scary, I would tell them to watch The Conjuring.
Yeah, I agree.
So if anybody who listens to this is like, I want to watch a horror movie that's not scary or not that scary, then watch The Conjuring.
Yep.
because there's not a lot of jump scares. There's not a lot of gore. Um Nobody dies. So, I mean, it's pretty much like I would let my preteen kid watch the movie
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's not bad at
Um
all.
so next week's episode is the Blair Witch Project.
So excited. I'm so excited.
So if you guys enjoyed this episode and you want to I don't know, listen to more,
Then pop in for next week's episode, which we
follow
will
us.
be uploading every Thursday.
You can subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. You can
Ooh!
follow us on Instagram.
At haunted.hose.
That's us.
What's our YouTube channel?
I haven't made it yet, but I would assume just Haunted Hose.
Okay. Our YouTube channel will be at haunted hose.
We can make
if you want to check
we
us
can
out.
make a Twitter.
Ooh, yeah, we can make a Twitter. We haven't made a Twitter yet. We can totally make a Twitter. And we can also in our Instagram DMs take any recommendations for horror movies.
Yes,
If
please.
anybody would like to recommend certain horror movies or just weird disturbing films we can watch
Or
and then do
even TV
reviews on.
series.
Oh, TV series.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's one called The Servant on Apple TV.
Ooh,
I think
I haven't even heard of it.
Oh girl, it's good. Catch us next week for the Blair Witch Project.
All right, see you then.
Bye.
Bye.